Let my father go, and I'll make you walk." Everyone in the court laughed until they saw the judge stand up on his own. The gavel struck once. "All rise," the bailiff announced. Everyone stood as Judge Raymond Callahan entered the courtroom, his black robes draping over the sides of his wheelchair. At 62, his presence was still formidable. His paralyzed legs had not diminished the power of his steely blue eyes. For the past 10 years, he had been known for handing down harsh sentences without mercy, especially to men like the one before him today. An Arab man in his late 30s sat silently at the defendant's table, hands cuffed in front of him, wearing a faded prison jumpsuit. His name was Tariq Al-Mansur, and he was accused of obstruction of justice, fraud, and resisting arrest. The court saw him as just another number, another file in a stack of papers. To Judge Callahan, it was clear-cut, a career criminal showing no remorse. The courtroom buzzed with tension as the trial neared its final moment, the verdict. The prosecutor stood. "Your Honor, the prosecution recommends a sentence of no less than 15 years. The defendant has wasted this court's time with false claims of unlawful detainment. And despite all evidence to the contrary, he has lied about who he is and what he can do. It's time he faced the consequences." Tariq lowered his head. His public defender was silent. She had given up the fight hours ago. Callahan straightened in his chair, ready to speak, but then something happened. The heavy courtroom door swung open, the sound of light footsteps echoing through the hall, followed by gasps. A little girl, no older than 7, had quietly entered the room. She wore a light blue dress. No adult accompanied her, and no one stopped her. She walked straight down the aisle, past rows of spectators, whispering lawyers, and stunned police officers, until she stood directly before Judge Callahan's bench. The judge exclaimed, his face a mask of confusion. "Who is this child?" Before anyone could answer, the girl looked at him with calm, unblinking eyes and said, "Let my father go, and I'll make you walk." The courtroom erupted. Laughter broke out from a back row. Whispers were heard from the prosecution's table, and even a guard smirked. Callahan blinked, astonished. "What did you just say?" She said in a steady voice, "If you let him go, I'll make you walk." The judge leaned back, disbelief clear on his face. "This is no place for jokes or fairy tales, my dear. Bailiff, please remove the girl." "Let her speak," Tariq suddenly called out, rising from his seat. "Sit down," Callahan snapped. "This is highly irregular. You don't listen." Pause 500. Callahan narrowed his eyes. "And who is that, exactly?" "He helped people. Before you locked him up, he made them better." More laughter. This time, even the court stenographer had to bend down to hide her smile. Callahan looked at his clerk, annoyed. Why was she even allowed in here? Who let her in? The bailiff answered, flustered, "She's his daughter. She came in by herself and refused to leave. We didn't know what to do. You should have stopped her at the door." "We tried." The judge looked at the girl again. "What's your name, little one?" "Ayman." Silence fell over the room again. Callahan swallowed. "Ayman, I don't know what you think is going to happen here, but this is a court of law. It's not the place for whatever you're trying to do." "But this is exactly where it needs to happen," she replied. "You've been in that chair for 10 years, haven't you?" Callahan stiffened. "That's none of your business. You haven't felt your legs since the accident. They said your spine was shattered, that you'd never walk again." His lips tightened. "That's enough. But you want to walk." Callahan gripped the wheels of his chair. Ayman stepped closer. "I'm not here to scare you," she said softly, "but I am asking you for something only you can do. Please don't hurt my father again. He wasn't lying. You just didn't believe him." Callahan looked toward Tariq, his jaw tight. Ayman slowly raised her hand, as if reaching for something unseen, and whispered, "If you give him back to me, I'll give you something back too." Callahan opened his mouth, then stopped. For the first time in a decade, he felt only warmth. No pain, no tingling, no illusion, just a gentle, sun-like heat in his knees. He looked at his legs, but nothing moved. Yet, something felt different. He looked at Ayman again. The courtroom was silent. Ayman held her hand up slightly and said again, "Please, let him go." Tarek's face was trembling now, tears welling in his eyes. "She doesn't lie." The judge stared at the child before him, and for the first time in his career, he was speechless. Everyone in the courtroom held their breath. Judge Callahan stared at the small hand extended toward him, steady and unwavering. The warmth he had felt moments before didn't fade. It was growing. It crept into nerves he thought long dead. His stomach fluttered. Ayman didn't blink, didn't pull her hand back. No one moved. The guards looked to the judge for instructions, unsure if they should intervene. Callahan slowly relaxed his grip on the wheels of his chair. "What are you doing to me?" she said quietly. "I'm not doing anything. You're the one who has always wanted to walk. I'm just unleashing what's still inside you. You're still a child," she nodded. "And you're afraid." Callahan clenched his jaw. "You think this is fear? You think I'm afraid of a fairy tale?" Ayman said, "No. You're afraid of being wrong." The words hit harder than he expected. He gripped the armrests because she was right. For 10 years, he'd accepted paralysis, not just in his legs, but his very soul. The day he lost his ability to walk was the day he decided not to believe in anything he couldn't explain. He had built a life within that wheelchair, walling himself off from the world. He looked at Tarek, whose eyes were fixed on his daughter in amazement, but not surprised. "Did you know she could do this?" Tarek swallowed. "She's done things before. Small things, little miracles. But I've never asked her to. I never let her try this." "Then why now?" "Because I told her I wasn't getting out of here, that I might be gone a long time. She said it wouldn't happen if I helped you." The judge turned to Ayman. The warmth had reached his thighs now. He blinked, looking down at his legs, and for the first time in 10 years, he moved his right foot. The courtroom erupted in gasps, screams, and cheers. Ayman didn't flinch. Tarek rose from his seat, his cuffed hands trembling. "Judge, what's happening?" Callahan's face was pale. He looked down in disbelief as his left foot also moved. Straining, silence again. The prosecutor's mouth fell open. The bailiff took a step back, staring as if he'd seen a ghost. Judge Raymond Callahan stood tall, his legs trembling beneath him, but he remained standing. He tried to speak, but his throat seized up. Ayman backed away, smiling. "Now, return my father, please." Stunned, impossible, silence. His clerk whispered, "Sir, what do we do now?" Callahan looked at the file in front of him. Tarek's record was filled with years of arrests, most dismissed, and one charge without a conviction. This current sentence was based on an anonymous tip with no concrete evidence and no victim willing to testify. It had never sat right with him, but he had buried it under assumptions. And he ordered in a firm voice, "Bring me the report of the arresting officer within minutes." The courtroom began to move. Papers moved, documents surfaced, and something else emerged too: inconsistencies, gaps in the timeline, and fabricated witness testimonies. The case unraveled quickly. Within an hour, Judge Callahan issued a full reversal of the sentence. He said slowly, his voice trembling as he stood again, "Mr. Tarek Al-Mansur, you are exonerated of all charges. Your record will be expunged, and this court owes you an apology." Ayman rushed into her father's arms. Tarek dropped to his knees, still in chains, and hugged her tightly. He whispered, burying his face in her shoulder, "You kept your promise." Callahan approached slowly. "I want to know how you did that." Tarek stood and looked him straight in the eyes. She didn't heal you. She just reminded you that you can heal yourself. Callahan shook his head. This doesn't make sense. No, it's not supposed to. Callahan paused, then smiled for the first time in years. You are free, Mr. Tarek Al-Mansur. Guard, remove his shackles. The shackles fell to the ground, and Tarek held Ayman in his arms as tears streamed down both their faces. He turned to leave, but before he reached the door, the judge called out, Ayman. She turned, thank you. She nodded and said, God is capable of all things. If you like this story, don't forget to like it and press the subscribe button for more touching and unexpected stories. And tell us in the comments where you are watching from. We are happy to hear all your opinions. Don't forget to press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this story with your friends and family to always remember that God is capable of all things.